making me mad. With 47, you better get back.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lurching closer toward, and we're underway on Jamal Agnew now to return it. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll drop this one off with Etienne. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. It's now 2nd and 6. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They go play action with Lawrence. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And some space here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well. Because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So, Charles, a nice throw there by a man who, until this week, was the backup here, elevated to get the start due to injury. How different do you think this offense will be?
Well, the hope is not much, but obviously it's hard to say until you get out there and see how your guys respond. And fortunately, this might just be a 1 or 2 week absence. But I do think that this unit has faith in him. They believe that he can play well, and they're going to band together to give him every opportunity.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, he finds Eskridge. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They go back to the ground now with Penny, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go play action now. Lawrence finds the open target, Arnold. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Now Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. It's Arnold. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Jaguars, nothing.
A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. Bulldozes past him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He finds his man, complete. It's Arnold, and he will have a Jaguars first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Robinson, and he's got room, and he's taken down inside the 30.
Every time I see James Robinson make a run, as we just saw there, one word comes to mind for me, and that's determined. Undrafted, out of Illinois State, always doubted, and all he did, finished 6th in the NFL in rushing. What a find he was in 2020, and he expects that to continue in 2021.
On the run, it's Robinson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That's Jawan Taylor, the right tackle. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. What I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position, to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Lawrence. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Play action. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. I got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
On play action, Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Lawrence to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dwayne Smoot just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And he finds Penny. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. And Myers able to knock it through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Blesson Austin. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Lawrence. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They're on their toes, and they're getting at it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Arnold. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Lawrence will throw. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. And now here's another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Andre Cisco. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Wilson. That's to the tight end, Colby Parkinson. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Penny, a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's tight right here. Tight to the right. Tight to the right. 4 down. Deeper. Finds the mic. Let's go one more. Reload.
Now Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malcolm Brown at 3 bills and some change comes in to drop the hammer.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's Robinson again on 2nd down. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football. But I think the play gets made front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd and 8.
Go on. Check safety. Hey, lock it. Hey, Wahoo. Switch gears.
And they'll go again with Etienne. And they're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Robinson. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Play action. It's Lawrence rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Bravo! Push him back! Push him back!
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He finds his man complete. It's Arnold. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Ready! 70, Indy. Bam, bam. Snap.
They'll run on first down. It's Robinson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here's second and a yard. Again, it's Robinson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Rock it. Hey, seam 6.
Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A handoff for ETN. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You don't want none. Show it up. Show it up. Got it.
Again, it's Penny. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Alert, alert.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Jamal Agnew on the return. The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Lawrence now off the bootleg. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Robinson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's out wide here for Robinson.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Lawrence to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. And give him a gain of 37.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will start. Left to go. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Etienne. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, one thing that you and I featured as a storyline was that they were facing the NFL's #1 defense coming in, and they really took it right to them.
Yeah, they didn't blink, did they? And instead of just saying to themselves, let's make sure that we minimize our mistakes and try and play a conservative type game, they attacked right from the beginning. Said, we got to go after these guys. I think sometimes you take the #1 rated defense by surprise when you do that.
So for the Seahawks, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.